Hello, everyone, listeners, one and all, and welcome to episode 33 of Bodied, the Cloud9 Fancast. Tonight we'll discuss the NALCS quarterfinal results and what we can expect for our semifinals match after we fill you in on the latest other esports news. I'm your host, Havokpus, and today I'm joined by...
Frozencreek. I'm not sleeping right now, obviously, because I am here.
PieMagicMan. I guess I'm also not sleeping. Like Frozencreek.
Pix or GTFO?
Same. And I'm Trey. Always asleep.
Yes. Everyone is potentially a sleepy sheepy or not a sleepy sheepy, depending on other factors. It's like the cat thing, but with sleeping.
Yeah, can anybody confirm if Ian is sleeping or not? And he actually just... He might be popping
He's
in.
pretty sleeping. I don't know. He's pretty sleepy.
You seem sleepy. Well, all right. Let's get on to some other esports news. Maybe he'll jump in. But so far, Cloud9 has actually had a pretty big weekend of stuff going on. Let's start with the Smash, since everyone likes Smash. So in Melee, Mango participated in the Yahoo Esports Smash Rivalries tournament, where the West and East Coast players fought against each other in a brutal civil war. Mango's West Coast team won Cruise, and then he proceeded to go into doubles with Lucky, where he won first. But then he went into singles and dropped to 7th, which is not as good, but
So
2 out of 3 isn't bad.
we found Mango's kryptonite, and his name is VGBC Chudat. Mango at Summit, up 2-0, gets destroyed. Yahoo Esports Smash Rivalry, up 2-0, gets destroyed.
He can't stop Chudat. It's like Nega Mango. He's Nega Mango.
Chudat just makes Mango Buster.
It's the yayas are too strong. Like they just got into his head.
Hopefully he can defeat Shootout one day, perhaps on a lava planet, where he has the high ground.
Dude, he was like a brother.
Exactly. So moving on to Smash 4, Ally seems to be proving himself to be a great holder of the Cloud9 name, because he participated in the Unrivaled Tournaments event, and he won 3rd in singles and finished 1st in doubles with TSM 0. So continuing to show that he is one of the best at Smash 4. Good job, Ally.
Yeah, he played pretty great. The match he lost in losers was like super close, and Zero just played his mind like out of his mind. So
it's like the two biggest names in like esports coming together for the common good, putting aside rivalry to win a trophy and some money. That's all you can really hope for in this world, right? That's what I strive for anyway. Well, probably the most exciting and probably unexpected news, Dota 2 actually won a qualifier, you guys. I know, shocking. They played against Alliance in the Zotac Cup Masters EU qualifier. That's a mouthful, I know. But they won 2-1, and they have secured their spot at the Zotac Masters Cup, and it has a $100,000 prize pool. So if you want an incentive to go follow Dota 2 and cheer them on, there's your chance. I actually catch that,
Yeah.
and the game 2 went I think 70 plus minutes, and it was actually really crazy that it lasted that long. But I'm surprised that they kind of bounced back and
beat
actually
Alliance.
beat Alliance. So good job.
yeah, beating Alliance is actually really big in the Dota scene. So
Yeah, I don't know Dota power rankings, so I just assume everyone is really good. And if we win, it's like, oh, we did great.
Also, that tournament starts on May 30th, and it's in Taipei.
Ooh, exotic. Yes, I will certainly turn in, because I support my organization. Moving on to CS:GO, we beat the Foundation at ESL Pro League 2-0. I haven't heard of the Foundation, so I guess that says something that we beat them 2-0. And also,
They
were
are former Selfless.
okay. Oh, they were selfless. All right. That makes sense. Also, there's potentially a rumor about C9 swag. Can someone break it down for me?
Yeah, who the hell is C9 swag?
All right, I will take this, and you step in anytime you like, Trey. So, 2014, in one of the tournaments where the former iBuyPower team was playing, they were found guilty of throwing the match for skins, because skins are basically money. And at the time, the team had AZK, Steel, Daze, Swag, and Skadoodle. All of them were banned indefinitely, except for Skadoodle, because he never received anything after the game, so he was able to claim that he wasn't in on the match fixing. So later on, Swag is picked up by C9 in 2015, maybe as a streamer, maybe in hopes that he's unbanned one day like Jensen was for LoL. And then in late 2015, really early 2016, there was a petition going around to unban Swag. The biggest reason being that he was like 17 when he did this, so he was too young to like really know like the consequences of his actions. He had these older team members who might be leading him on, reasons like that. So they felt it was unfair for him to be banned because of his age. However, Valve did come out and say that this ban was permanent. So now we're coming up with this land coming up, and Skadoodle might still be feeling ill against the Foundation. He was out and Valens stepped in. So we're left with two options as stand-in: Valens, who is the coach, or Swag, because this is a non-Valve tournament, that's still legal. So if we let Swag play, that's one, really cool because we all get to see Swag play, and it's also really cool because it shows like Cloud9 hasn't forgot about him, so they're still like looking out for him.
Is this the part where everyone starts to go quack, like from the Mighty Ducks, where they kind of go quack, 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 quack?
Swag. Swag.
Except
Swag.
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 Swag. Swag.
That actually
No, it would.
that actually sounds pretty cool. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
It would. The chant would be free swag. Free
Yeah,
swag.
yeah. Yeah, that actually sounds like a pretty neat thing to do, considering Skadoodle is still struggling with illness, and that'd be a pretty cool storyline for sure. I'd actually, if they did do that, I'd really like to see him pop off just to show that he still got it.
C9 also played SK today.
Did
Today
they win?
being when we recorded.
Yes.
Today being Wednesday.
Here, let me. I did not see, but I got reminded by chat, so let me pull that up real quick.
It's starting as we're going over this right now.
Oh.
Oh, well then.
Coming up next at 10:18.
That's
so yeah,
happening.
Okay.
Make sure to go check that after.
Yes.
literally right now.
Awkward.
All right, that's all we can
Okay.
really do about that. Let's move on.
Let's move on to probably the biggest other esports news, which is probably Overwatch. Overwatch, following Apex 2, Cloud9 wanted to shake up the roster a little bit more, maybe look a bit competitive in the wake of this Overwatch League that's coming to fruition. So Cloud9 has made some roster changes. So everyone put your hands together, maybe give a little gulp clap, and welcome Jaimo Zerfer Ku and Jonghwan Seli On. I probably completely botched those names, and I apologize, but they're going to be a couple of our players, along with our head coach, Byungjin Bishop Lee. So, nice to have you aboard, gentlemen. I hope that you bring Cloud9 many victories. Reeb and Mendo, probably Cloud9's most popular Overwatch players, will be stepping back as reserve members because of these roster changes. If you want to catch the new roster in action, check them out April 22nd at the Rivalcade's Overwatch Rumble. Pi is saying Surefour and Mendo most popular. I think people like Reeb too. He's got that beard.
You can't even
Dude,
say his
I like
name
Reeb.
right, so how do you know who
It's
people like?
Oh, is it Rib?
Yeah.
Oh, like the food.
You're gonna get roasted by all the Overwatch fans.
All two
We
of them.
We just lost
Whoa.
so many people watching this because of you, Havoc.
Here comes the I can already see them flowing in.
I'm trying to build up the controversy so we get more audience members. I'm thinking the strategy is I go really racy with my jokes so I can offend a lot of the esports community, and then people watch
let's
it.
let's. Okay, I'm gonna say we're gonna cancel you out. Not gonna do that.
Okay. It appears my strategy is not working. Also, Jack said in an interview with Glixel that Overwatch League is a huge priority since it offers franchising. I think one of the few esports things to actually start with franchising. So I can definitely see why that's a huge priority. I'm really looking forward to seeing how that actually works out. And I hope Cloud9 Overwatch becomes super successful.
Maybe then you'll learn their names.
Maybe then I'll learn their names. Any final thoughts on all of this torrent of other esports news?
I'm super stoked to finally see Cloud9 Overwatch back in action. I've been following a lot of it with Apex just ending and some of the other stuff that's been going on. So I'm excited to finally see Cloud9 attached to it because I missed it the first time around.
Yeah, I saw a couple of their matches. It was kind of hard to watch because it was all like first person, and I had no idea what was going on. But maybe they'll fix that for when Overwatch League starts.
Yeah, it's also the roster changes are kind of interesting. They did pick up Bishop while they were over in Korea, and obviously with the two new players being Korean, we can assume they were scouted over in Korea. I believe that they're actually some of the first Korean imports to NA Overwatch as well. So that's a really interesting takeaway from the Apex season that they just went over for.
Oh wow, Cloud9 continuing to be trailblazers in the esports scene. Gotta hand it to Jack. Jack seems to always have a keen eye for what direction to take the org.
And also, it seems Overwatch seems like it's going to be stable, but you never know with Blizzard. So, like, as an infrastructure, it seems like they're laying out things to have Overwatch be here for a while.
Yeah.
But it could still die out. We don't really know. It's still in a gray area, personally, at least.
Yeah.
As a scene.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that they have to figure out how to improve the viewing experience.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. I do think they are like trying to take their time and really figure out like how to do it so they don't mess up and make it like a catastrophic disaster, kind of like how Heroes of the Storm was, where like the scene just kind of died like all of a sudden.
Hey, they have their one tournament a year.
Yeah. We Cloud9 won a Heroes of the Storm championship.
Season 1.
Season 1.
Before we disbanded our team.
Never forget. Hey, it's one and done. You leave while you're on top. That's what you do.
They should not have gotten rid of Fun. Still gonna be sad about that.
All right, well, probably should move on. Great time with other esports. It was a lot of news, but glad we covered it. So let's move on to the NALCS Spring Quarterfinals. Before we get on, just want to first congratulate Smoothie for being named the #1 support player in North America. He received 104 points from all the people that got to vote. And Biofrost, who was the #2 support, only got 49. So Smoothie, the clear support favorite. So great job, Smoothie. Also, the games last weekend were Phoenix1 and Dignitas, and CLG versus FlyQuest. So which match do you guys want to kind of talk about a little bit first?
Let's go over CLG Fly since we got P1 to talk about with regards to next week.
That game was crazy, guys. It ended in the most unexpected fashion possible.
It was by far the most exciting League of Legends to happen all week, I think, and that's on top of Fnatic picking Twitch and Vayne and going off.
Oh yeah.
Against H2K. I think that this was by far the most like entertaining series that we've seen yet.
I would challenge one thing on that, and I will get to that later. But there is a series that I need to talk about that was a little bit more entertaining. But that's for later on in the show.
Okay, all right, save it, put it aside for later. We'll get back to it.
Everyone's being teased. They have to wait until the end.
Hey, you gotta give them more. You gotta get those cliffhangers. That's how all the network does it. All the network shows. But yeah, the reverse sweep was pretty crazy. I think everyone probably quit watching, or at least a lot of people quit watching after the hard 2-0, especially after game 1 when FlyQuest only got 1 kill, and he was playing Aurelion Sol, and they just completely murdered everybody.
I mean,
Pretty much the biggest thing was banning Rengar. Rengar won every game he played that he wasn't banned.
I wouldn't even say that. It was just who he going off versus who he not going off. Like, I don't even know if he needed the rest of his team there in game 1. He was just murdering everything. In game 2, he still made some great plays. And then games 3 through 5. Was who he in games 3 through 5? I can't.
I don't know.
Quite remember.
I think people sent out a missing persons report. Hopefully CLG does find him so they can start practicing again for summer season.
Yeah, and I think that was mostly confirmed by the fact that who he has the most deaths in NA playoffs so far with 21, but he also has the most kills, and I assume that's from the first 2 games because he was pretty silent in those last 3.
Yeah, it seems like Huki's biggest problem is that he has like a very small champion pool, and in that champion pool he has like a few champions where like he can just absolutely go insane on, like Aurelion Sol and like Rise, and maybe a couple others where he can just completely decimate an enemy team, but then like everything else he just does okay at.
Did anybody get to watch any of the Smoothie and Meteos Fog of War stream?
Oh yeah, I watched that. It was actually really good. I think Meteos should definitely be a caster.
Shoutcaster.
Yeah. He's super insightful, and he has a really good voice, and he has like this really kind of like dry, sarcastic sense of humor. And I think that all of those things are like really perfect for like being a shoutcaster. So I think he could definitely do that after he's done with whatever he's doing now.
All right.
I guess no one else has
quickly,
any opinions on the CLG Fly series.
Yeah. I think we just go to P1 versus Dig, which there's not a lot to talk about there.
No. I was actually kind of surprised they did so well against Dignitas, considering they put an Ori in, and this was after he like took a bit of absence from FenixOne, and
I think Dig played themselves.
Yeah, I think Dig's biggest problem is that aside from Someday and Chaser, the rest of their players just aren't that good. And if you can kind of keep Someday and Chaser in check, fighting the rest of Dignitas is fairly easy.
I mean, I would tend to disagree on that point. I just don't think there's cohesion with the team, because Lod last season was the shining light of Envy, like the only good thing in that. And then Xpecial has been around the scene forever, and I think he's peaked and it's kind of on the decline, but he's still a proficient support. He's never gonna be the TSM killer that he used to be, but or was it? CLG killer that he used to be.
I think he's stuck in. Yeah, it was the CLG killer. I think he's stuck in the TL Xpecial phase, where he's flash ulting as Annie and missing everyone.
Oof. I don't think I was there for that iteration of Team Liquid, but that sounds pretty rough.
That was the iteration that finally got 3rd instead of 4th.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, Dig had some stronger, like some nice early game stuff, and then they just kind of slowly collapse. Like
I noticed that in game 1. I think that was probably the one where I noticed it the most. I think because it looked like they were kind of winning, and then they had that wet noodle fight at Dragon.
That was
Every
super
time.
epic.
I don't remember which game it was, but where Someday made the super they were siege. P1 was sieging the turret. Someday made a flank on them, and he's just sitting there in the back line trying to lock people down, and none of his team is coming up to help him. They're all still wave clearing at the turret. He blows all of his cooldowns, and then as he's leaving, gets one more hook, and that's when Dig decides to re-engage, and Ryu just fucking destroys them with a shockwave.
Oh yeah, Ryu definitely
IRL.
carried his team to victory last week. I think all 3 games, a lot of it was on him because he just played out of his mind.
Yeah.
So I think
It was.
sorry.
No, I was just gonna say he just outclassed the other team completely.
Okay. I was about to transition from Ryu's sick play to our own.
Well, then let's do it.
Let's do it. People don't want to hear us talk about other teams. They don't. What is this? Some kind of rinky-dink Phoenix1 stream? No, this is the Cloud9 podcast. We got to do it right. So, all right. So this Saturday, April 15th at 3 p.m. Eastern, or wherever the hell EULCS finishes. It's kind of up in the air. Cloud9 will be playing against Phoenix1, and it should be pretty interesting. I think Cloud9 has a lot of strengths in their individual players and their mid and late game shot calling and team fighting and such. But we have poor early game, and we don't really have a lot of roams coming out from the mid lane. So do you guys think that we'll be able to compete at a level higher than Phoenix1, or is it going to be a close race?
I think
Based off. Sorry.
I was just gonna say I think that it's gonna be interesting to see how Cloud9 jumps back into the thick of things after having a few weeks off.
I agree. I think based off what we saw in Week 9, where Cloud9 clearly just outplayed P1, that it shouldn't be close theoretically.
Yeah, I was wondering this for a whole week actually, and I kind of noticed that we're a bit in the same spot that Immortals was last year. With a few differences, Immortals had a pretty dominating split for both spring and summer, while we have kind of hit our mid-season slump as we seem to usually do, and have kind of had a shaky second half of this split. But we do have a bye. We are in the 2nd seed. We are the expected winners of this matchup. The only thing I'm worrying about is the hubris of it all. That we get too cocky and we get too sure of ourselves, and we end up just pulling what Immortals did a year ago and just kind of ending up losing it and not being able to go to the finals.
Yeah, I think that there are a good amount of points to make. I also think that this roster is a little bit more, I guess, experienced and has a stronger mental fortitude than that Immortals roster, just because I think a Reaper is able to keep them in check a lot better than whomever the Immortals coach was, especially in drafting phase, because we're 100% not going to see a Lucian top lane. And
I better not see Kennen ADC though. I swear to God.
Oh my God.
Hey, it worked. It was perfect. Fnatic won.
Well, that's because
Okay.
Reckless is playing.
You're telling me Sneaky isn't as good as Reckless?
Didn't you see
on
Deficia's
Kennen
tweet?
ADC.
No one can play it but Reckless.
Exactly. I've studied this pick so much because every time an ADC not named Reckless picks up Kennen ADC, it seems that the match is just over before it begins, and the team just loses.
Kennen lost 3 games in a row for Splice.
Yeah, I don't know what
The
they were
one was
thinking
top
there.
lane.
That was weird.
I think AD Kennen, you have to play Kennen in a way that A, you don't normally play Kennen, and B, you don't normally play an AD carry. He's just, you have to get his playstyle right because it's so different from either of the things that he would be.
Yeah, I think that's probably part of why the pick isn't doing so well, because when you pick Kennen, everyone just seems to kind of go like, well, I'll just play how Kennen usually is played. And that's like rushing in and trying to get like these 5-man stuns. But then like you have no Zonias. What are you doing, you goofer? Now you're just dead. What are you doing?
All right. So back on topic.
Yes.
I think an interesting thing is going to be if a Reaper decides to play a Ray at all in the top lane, or is Impact just going to play all of playoffs?
I think he could play Ray. I think it would certainly shake up the draft, because Ray brings a completely different champion pool than what Impact brings, and because of that, we can kind of force Phoenix1 to kind of shift gears, so we could like play Impact for a game, and then put in Ray for a game, and then they're like, oh no, now we have to, oh man, now we gotta like completely change our strategy for what we're gonna do about top lane. Or have Ray come in and then put Impact in, or just do whatever. But I think Ray has shown enough improvement where he is at least earned a playoff game, maybe. How do you guys feel?
And we don't know how scrims have looked. We don't know the times that they've shared in scrims. Ray could actually just be doing better than Impact right now, but we don't have those facts, and it's just going to be, I think, whatever the team thinks is best, and I think using Ray is a strategical advantage.
All right. I was gonna, Pi, do you have Ray opinions?
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say at the beginning of the split, Ray kind of lost, like he wasn't sure what to do with this team. At the end of the split, he was doing really well in the last few games that he played, and I would definitely like to see him, especially as someone who wasn't a fan of him at first. That and the fact that he's held rank 1 challenger for so long, I think his meta's coming back around now with the return of 80 Fizz top lane.
Yeah, he's got to get those handshakes, man. I want him to get those handshakes. He deserves those handshakes.
80 Fizz top makes me cry.
And he's fucking hilarious.
Same.
So
yeah, I hear his stream is a blast. I want him to break out the full 80 Jarvan. I don't want to see no bruiser tank shit. I want to see him completely pop squishies.
I believe.
Yes, so I think for me that this seems gonna have a lot to do with the battle between Sneaky and Arrow, because I think that Ryu's been playing super well, but I think Judson can match up with him evenly, even at their best and worst. I think Judson can match up with him. But I think a lot of this game is going to come down to how is Sneaky in Arrow play.
Yeah, I think for mid lane it's always kind of been who can get the better matchup, especially versus high level mid laners, I feel. But yeah, if Sneaky and Smoothie can play like they did in Week 9, where they completely abused Arrow and Stunt, I think we'll do just fine. But that'll probably depend on what the dual lane matchups are, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, Smoothie's been playing so well, and I mean, Sneaky's... man, normally I say Sneaky's always pretty consistent, but he hasn't been too consistent lately. But last week, Lucian meta showed why he's a boss, or last time they played, Lucian meta showed why he's a boss on that. Even with like Cog and other things coming back into the meta, which I feel like rewards his good positioning. Varus, Ezreal kind of dropping out of the meta, which Arrow seemed to really thrive on, being able to get that poke on with his like, super precise skill shot. I think, especially given last time they played, Sneaky and Smoothie do have a nice edge, but Arrow and Stun have worked up a lot of synergy, especially after just 3-0ing Dignitas like that.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely need to see. I think it's gonna come down to a lot just like who's there to play. I've seen a lot of articles with people saying that contracts is going to be the X factor for Cloud9. Do you guys agree on that?
I don't know if I would call our weakest link our a factor. I think it's going to come down to how Sneaky and Smoothie play the bottom lane, and how Sneaky can impact team fights.
I actually think the opposite, especially with this new patch coming in, how important top lane is right now. I think we're going to see either Ray or Impact popping off or not popping off and us losing a couple games.
Yeah, I think with all the changes to like fervor of battle and stuff, I think Gnar can, I think at least be argued to be more of a meta pick now, and I think Impact for sure can play a really good Gnar, especially when it's a strong pick. What do you guys? I'm running out of conversation topics. I'm trying to stretch it out.
Man, I was actually gonna go on that contracts versus Inori thing. One of the things is Inori played really well. He was the savior of P1 when he came in at the end of it last season. Meteos just happened to play really well, and everyone likes Meteos, so that's why everyone started hating on Inori. But we can't forget like the games that Inori has carried as well. Contracts has had some good carry performances, but also games where he seems lost. All the lanes, I feel, are pretty evenly matched, so it's definitely going to come down to this jungle matchup. Which jungler is going to take advantage, put the other one down, get one of their lanes ahead. I think that's where it really comes in, especially with Phoenix1's super early aggression. If we can weather that and get to the later game, I think we're good.
Yeah.
Okay, let me set the scene. It's game 5. C9 was down 2-0. They fought back. Meteos is subbing in for game 5 because Inori inted the last game. We get about 35 minutes in. C9's about 5,000 gold behind. P1 starts going for Baron. Meteos says, "Ha ha, got you." Runs away, lets C9 smite the Baron. Ints into C9, giving them the game, giving them the series, and we move on to the FlyQuest versus C9 finals.
His P1 time was all a trick.
I have to assume that he was playing Lee Sin and that he actually did that on accident because it was pre 50 minutes.
Pre 70 minutes.
It takes time for him to learn how to play Lee Sin, you guys. If you can't give him that time, he's like Batman. If you give him prep time, he can play well, but if you don't, he really struggles.
I watched him playing a Garen jungle on stream the other day. Maybe he'll break that out for game 5.
God, that would be interesting though. All right. Well, I've kind of run out of talking points. Unless anyone else has anything else to add about this exciting series this weekend.
No, I think all of us are just kind of in a lull and excited for the game to get going. I know I am, just because I'm tired of watching Cutie Pie and play Q-Sim. I'm excited to see some games, so I don't have to see Cutie Pie play Q-Sim later all morning.
Yeah, we can only really get speculation so far, but once the matches get going, we can actually dig deep and really talk about them. So this weekend's gonna be really great. I am gonna be shoutcasting it. I'm not sure if anyone else will join me, but I'll be there if you guys like me, which hopefully some do. But it should be fun, you know. There'll be jokes. I will be doing my best to do play-by-play, but it should be a good time. So keep updated. We'll probably tweet it and stuff.
So let's move on to TSM versus Fly, because this is an interesting series.
Yeah, I think no one expected it to be this way, but here we are. So Sunday, after the day after the Cloud9 match, FlyQuest will be playing against TSM. What's gonna happen, guys? Can FlyQuest secure the C9 Blue versus C9 White final? Can the dream truly live?
I mean, it is said that SKT eventually dies. TSM has to die with it, right?
I mean, they would have to.
Could this be TSM's season 4, where SKT falls and fails to make it to Worlds, and that's TSM?
Oh man, that'd actually be pretty crazy.
After all the hype around them, it would just blow everybody's minds.
If we're gonna meme, I think that it comes down to who wins game 1. Because if FlyQuest wins, then they cannot reverse sweep, and if TSM wins, they never win game 1. So,
yes, the great equalizer.
Yeah, the great whoever can throw that first game the hardest.
I imagine it becomes just like a waiting game where like all inhibitors are down, all towers are down, everyone just sits in their own base and just like, go ahead, hit the Nexus, you want to. It's like, nah, I'm good. You hit it.
Reminds me of season 4 Worlds OMG versus OMG versus Fnatic, where Rumble goes in trying to win the game, just can't get the last hit off, and dies.
Ooh.
Just completely gets destroyed. And they lose the game after 70 minutes and both Nexuses are open.
Oh man, that does sound like a real... That would probably make me cry. That would legit make me cry.
Yes, I think it's gonna be super interesting to see how High can hype up and manage his troops into its TSM squad that only seems to falter when they're throwing games to try and keep Team Liquid out of promotions.
Same.
Dear God. Oh, man. I think it's, as always, it's going to be on High and Moon. The other Altec and Balls are just really solid. Nothing crazy, no game-changing plays, but they'll be there. It'll be on High to get another Oriana Penta or something like that to just really push them over the edge.
Yeah, it should be pretty exciting. I'm definitely going to tune into the game.
What are your guys' predictions for TSM versus FlyQuest?
I think TSM 3-1.
So FlyQuest is gonna win game 1 then?
I think FlyQuest wins game 1 just because of the way that TSM usually plays in game 1s. And then I think that'll just throw the games into TSM's way.
Yeah, TSM always seems to kind of use that first game as a throwaway to see how the other team wants to play. Because they also threw that first game against us in the finals of last split.
I wouldn't say they
threw
that away.
Well, not like threw it, but yeah, but it's kind of like a feelers game, not like a go all out. It's more of like a let's take a slow, feel out how the other team prepared, and then make changes for game 2, 3, and 4. Then I'll win those games.
I still think TSM 3-1.
Yeah, I think if I were a betting man, I would bet on a 3-1. I don't see many scenarios where FlyQuest is able to pull this series out. I think if you gave them a 10 to 15% chance to beat CLG, it's much lower now.
It hurts because TSM's game is fucking clean, but like you're dealing with old C9, and old C9 reverse swept their way through the gauntlet to get to Worlds, so who knows what they can pull out. In my brain, I'm thinking 3-1 TSM. I actually don't even think it'll be the first game. I think it might be the second game that FlyQuest take. But in my heart, I want that 3-2 FlyQuest with the reverse sweep.
Dude, the reverse sweep, Haunter goes like 0-11. The memes just come pouring in from Reddit.
Oh, that'd be pretty
That'd
sweet.
be it.
For me, I'd have to
Alright.
probably say, I'd say TSM probably either 3-0 or 3-1's FlyQuest. FlyQuest's success is probably a very slim margin, but I would like to see another reverse sweep. That would be incredibly sick.
All right.
Yeah, let's move on and do some quick predictions for EU, just because EU playoffs are also going on right before NA playoffs. They start at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Saturday we have G2 versus Fnatic. What are you guys' predictions on that game?
Fnatic wins. They have to. For Roccat. For Roccat, you guys.
I actually think Fnatic beats G2. Like, it sounds weird because G2's played so well. But Fnatic just has the spark in them.
They played like a completely different Fnatic last week, and so I think it's not entirely impossible for them to actually beat G2. I mean their quarterfinals match against HUK, they pretty much crushed them, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, they were definitely playing with some fire there, and they're starting H2K like that, who's been playing really well all split. If Fnatic keeps that up, they can definitely take on G2. G2 has been winning their games, but I still think they've been pretty sloppy in their wins.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people have said. Kind of like sloppy early game, I think, or just like macro play. I can't remember exactly, but sloppy was used.
For me, I think that G2 is gonna win this. I would give them the same percentage chance that Hillary Clinton had to win the election, according to 538. So about a 70% chance.
Wait. Let's. We all know what happened there.
I'm just saying.
Let's believe in Fnatic. Let's just move on.
That there are many
Believe.
universes where Fnatic wins this series. I just think that G2 is too strong of a team for Fnatic to beat, and I don't think G2 can be out cheesed. And I think that HUK was super overrated.
I do think HGK was somewhat overrated, but I do think Fnatic is playing out of their mind.
I do think that they are playing better. But let's go on to Sunday's matchup, which is Unicorns of Love versus Misfits. Predictions?
Yeah, I was
Unicorns.
about to ask.
Unicorns 3-1.
Yeah, I can go with Unicorns. The Misfits lately have just not been playing as dominant as they did earlier in the split. They seem to be kind of shaky, as Unicorns have seemed to be pretty strong throughout the whole split. So I'm just going to go with Unicorns.
I'm going to go with the Unicorns. I want it to be a 3-0. I don't think Misfits has really looked good all split either. I think they've been like a lesser G2 where they're kind of sloppy and still pulling out wins. And I think it was more Splice also being a little overrated, and just what happened to them for that reverse sweep to happen. So I think Unicorns have been fairly solid all split, and they can take it against Misfits.
For me, I think that Unicorns have mastered that style of trying to turn every game into like a shit show, and I think that Misfits is one of the few teams that can hold on to a game and play patiently around the Unicorns over aggressions. So I think that there are many universes here also where Misfits win this, but I also think that they slumped quite a bit. They beat a Splice team that was only playing okay. So I think that Unicorn should win this, but I would not be surprised to see Misfits push this to at least 5.
Yeah, I mean, Misfits does have some pretty good players with like Alfari and Hansama, and Power of Evil does decent. He seems to be kind of off and on. Sometimes Power of Evil will do okay, sometimes he'll do really great. But Power of Evil at least looks a lot better than when he was on Origin. Origin, Power of Evil was just completely awful. So it's at least good that he's playing a lot better than what he was playing before.
A yes or no down the line does Origin or Giants make it out of the promotion tournament alive?
Nope.
Giants probably does, because we have to have, because I think how it's lined out is we'll for sure have one challenger team go, and then I think
Yeah. The loser of the challenger game will play the winner of the
we'll play
2
Giants.
LCS teams. So probably Giants.
Yeah, I think Giants can probably make it out just because they're a bit more experienced. Origin's probably done for.
I think Fnatic Academy wins in Misfits Academy versus Fnatic Academy, and I think Misfits Academy beats Giants.
Yeah, Giants doesn't have that X Peppy factor in anymore.
Mm-hmm. And the promotion tournament actually, I believe, is today and tomorrow, or tomorrow and
yes,
Thursday and
Friday. Thursday and Friday. Yeah.
What was that thing people were linking? It was like a Giants player was saying how Fnatic Academy was full of like washed up veteran players. And then Giants got completely crushed.
Mad trash.
It was so funny.
But don't worry, it's okay to have a bunch of like washed up veteran players as long as you're Fnatic, like.
Or FlyQuest.
That's no. Remember, that was a big issue. It's okay because it's Fnatic. No one cares about that.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally not biased here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a discussion for when they get promoted.
I just want to mention something quick. There are currently 4 teams that have qualified for MSI. Of course, they're all wildcard teams, but I thought I would make quick mention of them.
Oh yeah, sure.
The Red Candids from Brazil, Isurus Gaming from Latin America South, Rampage from Japan, which this is one of the first times that Dead Nation Focus Me has not won, so that's big. And I think the biggest of them all, Virtus Pro from the CIS region. They beat the former Albus Nox 3-2 in the semis, and then won against Havokpus esports also 3-2 in the finals.
Oh wow.
Russia's coming back. Russia could play very well. I watched both those series, and it was insane.
Would you say that Russia has some high level of play? Because I don't know as much about like Japan's, League of Legends scene or like Brazil's League of Legends scene, so I don't know how it compares to like versus like major regions like NA or EU or Korea.
The CIS is very weird because they do have some high levels of play, but a lot of the times the teams that do the best are the ones that just come up with cheesy strategies.
Oh, okay.
And just play you around the map. Similar to how Albus did last year.
Right.
Before they changed their name to M19. But Virtus Pro is more of a centralized type of play where they don't have too many off picks. They did play Sona in the finals, which was a slight surprise, but other than that, I didn't see too many big awkward picks, so I expect them to do really well.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Anyone have any other interesting anything they want to add? We're probably going to be wrapping up the show, so
Yeah, just one last thing. Riot slash League of Legends slash LoL Esports came out with a duo show kind of thing. It's about 11 minutes long. It's on Impact and Ray. It's super cute. There's subtitles on everything because it's all in Korean. If you're used to seeing Ray on stream, it's nothing like that, and he actually looks like a serious person in this. And it's mostly just about how Impact is a mentor for Ray, and how Ray's like C9 sword and Impact is a shield. So super cool, definitely worth watching. Just came out earlier this week.
agreed.
So predictions for Cloud9.
Ooh. Yeah, that's I think either 3-1 or 3-2 for Cloud9. I think that individually we have a lot better players. The team has been playing together for longer. And I think if we play like we did in week 9, where we looked like we had a really good solid game plan hammered out beforehand and executing it, I think we can probably beat them fairly easily. That being said, we have really bad early games, so I wouldn't be surprised if we lose a game or two. But I think ultimately Cloud9 at least should win.
I think it's going to be a 3-1 in Cloud9's favor. I think we'll lose game 1, win game 2, and then when we win game 3, they'll try to do some weird sub stuff, and then we'll just destroy them at that point.
I'm also in that 3-1 boat. The biggest X factor here that could push it to 3-2 or even a P1 victory is the fact that P1's coming off of a 3-0 victory on Dignitas and got to play on the stage last week, where there's been a little hiatus for Cloud9. So that's probably the biggest issue, is just if Cloud9 can readjust themselves to the stage or not. Otherwise, I think they've got it 3-1 if they play like they normally did.
For me, I think I have Cloud9 at 3-2. I think Phoenix1 is just a little too good right now to beat down. And I think that the odds of Phoenix1 pulling out at least a game or two is too high for us to downplay. So I think it's going to be 3-2, especially since we haven't seen the guys on stage in a couple of weeks. And especially since our last actual serious hardcore a real game, it was against Phoenix1. So hopefully our pick and bans can get cleaned up, and we can outpick Nori's brand new Ivern.
All right, good predictions. We'll definitely have to see. Remember to tune in Saturday. Support the team. This is a really big match. Really hope they win it so they can go to the finals.
Also, we'll start with PieMagicMan. What's your moment of the week?
All right, I almost forgot moment of the week.
Quickly, time's ticking.
Oh dear. Well, normally my moment of the week involves when I get to play Garen support with Busker, but for this week, man, I can't even say Melee because that actually just made me feel sad. I would have to go with the FlyQuest reverse sweep. I was kind of watching it on and off at work, and then watched a little bit of the first 2 games, felt really sad, turned my phone on, and there goes Silver Scrapes.
Oh, Crumbs?
No, Silver Scrapes.
Crumbs are a rendition of Silver
No,
Scrapes.
it was Mark Z.
Mark
Z.
Oh,
Not
okay.
Crumbs.
And that is my moment of the week. That was beautiful.
I like how
that
his
made me
voice kind
laugh
of
so hard.
Oh, Trey.
Yeah.
What was that a series that you foreshadowed so much?
M19 versus Virtus Pro. That series was bonkers. It may be kind of hard to watch. It's only in Russian, but they just play it across the map so it's watching other regions play is so entertaining to me. Like, all of the games had at least 20 kills, I'm pretty sure.
Oh wow.
So it's like watching a unicorns game in Russian.
Yeah, but it's a best of 5. Kale was picked. Kale mid.
All right, I'll try and
Fnatic
watch it
Cap
tomorrow.
special.
My moment of the week, I'm going back 2 weeks because I was sleepy last week. When I was at that Gamers for Giving LAN that I mentioned 2 weeks ago, I played in a League of Legends tournament and I won $160 trolling on my way through the jungle playing Ivern
Oh, nice.
and Nunu.
Congrats.
Hey there, buddy. How you doing?
So I bought myself Star Guardian Lulu.
Nice. Congrats on the big win.
Yeah, I don't know how I suck at this fucking game.
Yo, dude, same.
All right, Havoc.
All right, finishing this off. Moment of the week would probably be that wet noodle fight in the Phoenix1 dig game where it was Honori's, Ivern, and Zig. I think it was on Nautilus, and he was fighting against like Shannon Lulu, and it was taking so long to kill the Lulu, and oh man, it was hilarious. Just how long that fight was drawn out. That was probably my favorite. But I think that's going to do us for today, guys. So, thank you for listening to the somewhat loopy 33rd episode of Body the Cloud9 Fancast. Feel free to tweet questions and feedback to @C9Bodied or email us at bodiedfancast@gmail.com. Questions might be answered on the next podcast. We love those questions. Start pouring them in now. So, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Goodbye.